Today, today we are tackling the issue of whether or not it is possible, excuse me, to read the Bible in 30 days. And if anybody jumps on, I'll be here for, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour or something to answer questions about how it's possible to read through the entire Bible in 30 days. Again, this is not for the faint of heart. If you're not comfortable with the idea of spending a couple of hours a day reading the Bible, 7 days a week, then this may not be for you. And we're doing something for June. We are plowing through the entire Bible in 30 days. It's possible because I've done it before. I've done it 3 times before in the last 3 years. In fact, I did it 3 times in a row, so I know it's possible. Why would we want to embark on such a feat? Why would we want to entertain such an idea to get through the Bible in 30 days? One, it never hurts to read more of the Bible. It never hurts. So some people will, and I've had some arguments back and forth with people saying that you shouldn't try and read the Bible so fast in 30 days and all this stuff. And the easiest way to explain it is you're actually spending more time in the Bible, not less time, in order to do it in 30 days. That's the difference. It's not you're skimming through the Bible. It's you may have to spend anywhere from 2 to 6 hours on some days. It just might happen. But the beautiful thing about reading the Bible is it happens organically, meaning you could be reading one day and you're thinking, I'm only going to read for 30 minutes. That's all I got time for. And then you read, and then you find, you know what? I might have an extra 30 minutes on me. And then you read for an hour. And it's a beautiful thing. Or you might have an appointment in the afternoon, and all of a sudden you have a 2 hour window. And you're like, you know what? Today and today only, I'm going to read for 2 hours. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to watch the news. I'm not going to watch a movie. I'm just going to spend time in God's Word for 2 hours. And I don't care how much I read. I'm just spending time reading. So it's not a matter of how many pages you're reading. It's not a matter of how many chapters. It always boils down to time spent. And this is why I encourage people, if you want to try and get through the Bible in 30 days, keep track of how much time you're spending reading the Bible. Because I'll tell you, if you are only spending 15 to 30 minutes a day, it's not going to happen. You're just going to overwhelm yourself. It's not going to happen. Then it becomes a thing where you're going to start skimming and you're going to start speed reading and all this kind of stuff. And that's not what we're trying to accomplish here. We want you to be able to still have comprehension as you're going along. And just think of this as you're prepping for a final exam, you're in college. Man, some of these textbooks that they have, and these students cram at like restaurants late at night, and they're having all you can eat breakfast, coffee, bottomless coffee, because they got to get through this, and they know on Friday is exam day, so they'll go for a whole week studying medical textbooks, psychology textbooks, real estate, all this kind of stuff, insurance. They'll study everything under the sun. But when it comes to the Bible, sometimes like, you know what? Maybe one verse a day is okay. Maybe it's okay to do one chapter a day, and then you can get through the entire Bible in a year. And I say, phooey on that. You need to cram more. Pretend for the month of June, we are prepping for a big exam, and your goal is to get through the entire Bible. That's the test. At the end of June, July 1st. The question is, and it's a pass or fail, did you get through the entire Bible in 30 days? If not, that's okay, but let's have a look at how far you went, how far you made it. Did you get through the Old Testament and then parts of the New Testament? Great, that's awesome. Now you just keep track of it and say, oh, you know what? It actually took me 40 days or 50 days to get through the entire Bible. Now you have kind of a benchmark, and you're like, you know what? I have some time in the summer going on vacation. I'm going to Hawaii, or I'm going to Switzerland, or I'm going to Israel. I got a couple extra weeks. I now know in my head, if I have a long flight, I can get a huge chunk of the Bible read by the time I get to Israel, or by the time I get to Sweden, wherever you're going. It's a beautiful thing, because now you know that it's possible. And what ends up happening is when you do it once, you're like, you know what? I don't have to do it in 30 days, but 90 days or 120 days is now reasonable because you've done it in 30. And then all of a sudden you're like, I went through the Bible 3 times this year. That's amazing. And it's because you're spending more time. It's not because you're going through the Bible faster. You're getting through the content faster, yes, but you're not going, oh, I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. No, you're spending more time, and what you're gonna find as a consequence of this is you're going to have a reality check, and you're gonna be like, oh man, I was going to rewatch the entire series of Lost or Office or whatever TV show, Friends. I was going to watch all 15 seasons of Friends back to back, but because I'm going through the Bible, I don't have time for Friends every single day. That's the reality check. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to find yourself going, I can't hang out on Facebook as much anymore. Darn it, because I have to read this. Can you believe it? I can't go on Twitter. I can't go on Facebook. Because if I spend time on Facebook, I'm not going to get through the Bible in 30 days. It's just not going to happen. I might have to, heaven forbid, I might have to forfeit the idea of watching an entire hockey game for us Canucks in Canada. And believe me, this is going to be a series with Edmonton against the Panthers, 2nd year in a row. It's going to be a big deal. But you may not have to watch 3 hours of hockey. Maybe you can just catch the 3rd period, and then you spend the first 2 periods reading the Bible. Wouldn't that be crazy? I've seen people where they actually have software apps to keep track of how much time they're on social media. And then after, let's just say, for example, after they spend 2 hours on social media, it tells them no more social media for today. And they look at me like, hey, isn't that awesome? I have to have an app to tell me when to stop going on social media. Wouldn't it be cool if there was an app or something that told you, hey, stop reading the Bible. You spent 2 hours. You're at the ceiling. Stop reading. You're reading too much. This is too good for you. It's too good to be true. You're starting to clean up your life. Stop reading so much. You need to get out. You need to explore more. You're just reading the Bible. We need an app for that. Wouldn't it be nice to have a friend, a loved one tell you, hey, you know what? Stop reading the Bible so much. Man, it's changing your life. Stop reading it. But we don't have that. Instead, we have other things. Like maybe I'm gonna go on a fast of Netflix. Maybe I'm gonna go on a fast from going to Dairy Queen or McDonald's, or I'm not gonna watch movies for 1 month. I say big hairy deal. Like if you think that is a reward to stop online gambling, oh, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to gamble this month for 30 days. Really? That's your little mechanism that you have that you're using to make yourself feel better? Well, I think we have it upside down. I think we have it backwards. Because if you tell someone, and I've had this happen, if you tell someone you've read the Bible 20 times, which I have in the last 3 years, they go, "You're prideful. I've never seen so much pride in you. I can't believe that you would share with your audience that you love reading the Bible. I can't believe it. Like, you're gloating now. You should slow down, bro. You should really just slow down and read one verse a day. And then after 3 years, you're gonna feel so uplifted from reading one verse a day. You should do that. I've heard it all, folks. But what I haven't had, what I and these people do not stand up if somebody shows up and says, "Hey, I just bought the whole Harry Potter collection and I'm inviting a whole bunch of people over for the weekend and we're reading the entire series in one weekend." You get people going, "Wow, bravo, that is awesome. I'm reading Lord of the Rings. Oh, bravo. How long did it take you?" "It took me less than a week to get through Lord of the Rings and now I'm on the Two Towers." "Oh, bravo. Wow, done. Oh, awesome. Oh, can I say something? I read the entire Bible in 30 days. Whoa, whoa. Whew. Slow down, bruh. What's wrong with you? You're doing it all wrong. Why are you spending so much time?" Again, I'm being facetious right now, but you'll be shocked at what you hear people say when you tell them things like that. Again, you don't hear this from people saying, "Hey, I just watched Lost nonstop all weekend long and my eyes are bleeding. Look at my eyes, they're bleeding right now." People go, "Wow, that's awesome. You must really love Lost." Yes, I do. I love it. It's amazing. It's got the best ending in the world. It never existed. Sorry if that's a spoiler. It was all a dream or whatever it was. I never did see the last episode. But I'm telling you, it's upside down. You say, "Oh man, I read books on sharks. That's all I think about. Morning, evening, nighttime. I can't help thinking about sharks. They are such amazing beings, creatures. They never eat anyone. They don't like attacking people. They're forced to attack people. But we should just love on them." And I got all these books on sharks. We would just say to that person, "Wow, that person is absolutely passionate for sharks. It's amazing. He loves sharks. He's got a whole collection of photos and paintings on his in his basement, in his cellar, all over the place. He's got lights that look like sharks and beds and beddings and all this kind of stuff." And we're like, "Wow, passionate." But if you say, "All I read is the Bible, the King James Bible, that's all I read." Whoa, bro, you need to branch out a little bit. You need to just dive into something else. You don't read NIV? No, just the King James Bible. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on, bro? Seriously, I'm concerned about you. What's going on? So, again, I get a little bit facetious over this topic. But if you try it, I am here to support you because you're going to get it from every different source. And I like to think of it as a bit of an attack by the enemy himself using other people to attack you. And really, all you're doing is you're just spending more time reading. Try it one day. Just say, "On Saturday, I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to spend the entire day in the Bible. I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be by myself and I'm going to read till 10 or midnight, 10 o'clock at night or midnight." Okay? Try that one Saturday and watch what people say to you. And then do something like this. "I'm going to watch the entire Mission Impossible series over the weekend and watch what people say. Can I come over? Can I watch with you? I'm going to clear my whole weekend. I was going to go on a family vacation, but instead, I'm going to come over to your house and we're going to watch Mission Impossible 1 all the way to Mission Impossible 8. And in fact, I'm going to buy the pizza and I'm going to invite some other friends. It'll be a big party. I'm telling you, try this out as a test. Prove me wrong. It will happen. You can watch as much golf as you want. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can watch college football to your heart's content and nobody will say a thing. Instead, they'll ask you, did you wash your jersey? Because, bro, you are so passionate. It feels like you wore the same jersey all weekend long. Good job. Try it. I'm telling you. Nobody will blink if you watch the entire series of the Planet of the Apes. But the second you say something audacious like, I think I'm going to see if I can get through the entire Bible in one weekend. Oh, whoa, whoa. It's crazy. I don't even want to tell you my reading schedule because you won't believe it. You'll be like, oh, no, that's impossible or whatever. So what I do is I smooth it out to 30 days. And I say, it's possible in 30 days, even though I've done it in 21 days. I've done it in less time. And I actually had to choke back a little bit to go, this is actually unbelievable that I'm done the Bible in 21 days. So I slowed down a little bit. So 30 days is not unreasonable, is what I'm trying to say. It's 2 hours a day, 7 days a week for 30 days. Time yourself with your phone. Whenever you open up your Bible, hit your timer, hit record. Or not hit record, but start your timer. And if you're reading in Job and you get to Job chapter 10 and you're like, oh, I'm played out. Look at your time and you're like, oh, that was 15 minutes. Okay. Or 20 minutes. Stop the timer, take your book, take your Bible, put it aside, go get coffee, whatever it is. And then later in the afternoon, it's like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little bit more time reading. Open it up to Job chapter 10. Start your timer. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to go for 30 minutes or 40. Just read. Just read. That way you don't give your flesh a chance to interact with you. You just ignore it and just say, you know what? I'm probably only going to be reading for like a couple minutes. It's a little secret. Your flesh doesn't know what you're doing. So you're like, I'm just going to read for, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go watch Netflix. And then your flesh is getting ready to get you to watch Netflix. And then you're like, meanwhile, inside, you're like, I'm just going to read. And I'm not going to move from my chair. But you don't tell your flesh how long. You just start reading. All of a sudden, you're at Job chapter, chapter 30. Where are you here? Let's see. How many chapters in Job? Let's say, this is what happens. Let's say you have been reading for 2 hours and you're almost at the end of Job. You're like, man, I am at chapter 30. I'm 3/4 of the way through Job, but I've read for 2 hours. So I can stop and pick this up tomorrow, which is no problem. Nobody will ever get mad. It's not a big deal. Or you can go, you know what? I'm so close to the end of Job. I have 7 pages to read and I'm done Job. And then start your next day with your 2-hour reading. If you just do that, you're going to finish the Bible in 30 days. You're going to finish it. Because there's something special that happens when you get closer to the end of a book. You go, I'm just going to finish it. I'm just going to finish the book. And then I would suggest that you start a couple of chapters into the next book. So if you're reading Psalms next, just read Psalm 1, 2, and 3, put your bookmark, and you're done. Now you're ahead of the game for tomorrow morning. When you get up and you go to Psalms, you're like, oh man, I'm at chapter 3. Or you can even Go back to Psalms chapter 1 and then just sit there and then just read. It'll take you about 3 to 4 hours to read Psalms. So realistically, in 2 days, you should plan on being done the book of Psalms. So if you start on day 1 and you're like, man, according to my timer, I'm at 2 hours, and you see that you're about halfway done, more or less, you just stop for the day. You're good to go. Next morning, you pick up right where you left off. You don't jump into the New Testament. You finish Psalms. And if it takes you 2.5 hours to finish it, you finish it. So you might get through 2 hours and you're like, man, I'm at Psalm. It took me 4 hours and I'm at Psalm 120, let's just say, for the sake of argument. I'm at Psalm 120. I just finished a big one, which was Psalm 119. King David taught to his son Solomon. I just finished one. That one was a big one. It was 176 verses. You see why you don't go by chapters? You don't go by verses? Because if you try and get through 3 chapters a day, you're going to get derailed in Psalm 119. You're going to be like, oh man, I'm supposed to read 3 chapters and this is taking me forever to read it. Now I'm behind, so tomorrow I got to read 6. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me on this. Don't do it. But what happens is when you get close to the end of Psalms, once you get to like Psalm 130, you're like, you know what? I'm only 6 pages away. I'm on Psalm 133. And in 5-10 minutes, I could be done all of Psalms. And you're done. So all of a sudden, you're going to realize that you're getting through the Bible faster. I can now knock off the New Testament in a weekend. I'm not asking you guys to do that. I'm just saying things are possible where you can actually go through. Imagine going through the first 5 books of the Bible over a weekend. You start Friday night, Sunday night, by midnight, you're done. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Done. That's a beautiful thing. So if you don't want to do the 30 days entire Bible, do something like that. Read the first 5 books. Read all 4 Gospels over a weekend. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, one after another. In the past 3 years, that's all I've done for Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, is I read them as a chunk. I don't go Matthew and then go Genesis and then Mark and then Exodus. I don't do that. I read it in chunks. So I'll go Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Done. Then I go into the New Testament or into the Old Testament, wherever I am. Same thing. If I'm reading the Old Testament, I go Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Done. Then I'm free to continue. I can go to the book of Joshua, or I can go into the New Testament. And I'll do things like Acts to the end of Revelation. Done. Then I go to the Old Testament. Genesis to the end of Job. Done. Back to the New Testament. Matthew to John. Done. Now I go back to the Old Testament. Isaiah to the end of Malachi. Done. And then all I have left over a weekend is Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs, and I'm done in 30 days. I'm done. So it's possible. You just need to be able to spend time doing it. And there might be some times on a Saturday where you're like, you know what, honey? The entire day, I'm reading the Bible. That's it. It's only for June. You don't have to do it for July or August. But I'm telling you, on the other side, once you get done reading it, you're like, oh man, I think I would like to do that once a year. Or maybe I would like to do it in July. Or once every 6 months, I just spend time reading the Bible one time in 6 months. And then on the 7th month, I plow through the whole Bible in 30 days like a marathon. where I'm going all weekend long, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then I continue during the week. It's fun. I'm telling you, this will change your life. You ever have a problem with addictions? Read more of the word. You have a problem cussing and swearing? Read more of the word. You have a problem controlling your thought life? Read more of the word. I know this to be true because it happened to me. And I'm trying to pour that out to you. And hopefully you can get past the pride, the arrogance, all the stuff that people say about me. Hopefully you can get past all of that and see my heart that I want you at the end of the day to read more of the Bible, not less. So I hope that comes through. And you may have to watch this video again, watch the other two videos that I've done, June 1st, June 2nd, June 3rd, for all the tips and tricks and everything that you can use to get through the Bible for the month of June. And I'm going to be doing this each day just for like 20, 30 minutes to coach you, to mentor you, to tell you you could do it, to cheer you on. That's my goal, is to cheer you on over the month of June. You can do it. And just for a little update as to where I'm at, I started Acts on Sunday. And I keep track of everything that I read as well, by the way. I mentioned that in one of my videos. Have a journal, write down how long you've been in the Bible, and then write down how long it takes you to read through the books. That'll just help for down the road. But I started Acts on Sunday, and I am in, what am I? Because I'm using my Kindle reader here, I am at, what book am I in? I think it's in Titus. I am in, go back into this. I am in, I think this is Titus. Yeah, because it's just before Hebrews. Yeah, I'm in Titus right now. So Titus. So the next book is Hebrews after that. That's where I'm at with the Kindle. And this, I read about 300 words per minute in this. And what I like about this is you can actually have your coffee or have your water, and you can hit Word Runner like this. It's set up for 300 words a minute, and then you can just read it like this. Hopefully the words aren't backwards. They look backwards to me. But this is how I get through the Bible faster as well. Why? Because what happens when you read a physical Bible is you struggle with your eyes jotting. Sometimes what happens is you read a paragraph, and then maybe you have notes beside it saying, I should look into that. That word is cool. And then you go like this, and you're like, I know I'm going to finish Acts later, but something interesting came up in Acts that brought me to Isaiah 41:19. And then you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, that's cool. Sing praise and glory to the Lord. Oh, that kind of reminds me of Genesis. Let me go over to Genesis. And you flip over, and you're like, oh, Jacob and Rachel. Wow, that's interesting. Huh. And you're like, oh, what book was I reading? Oh, it was Acts. It's good for your daily devotion, but if you want to plow and get done the Bible without interruption, use the Word Runner on Amazon Fire. And I have a little place where I just set it down, and I can just put it here, and I can just sip my coffee. I can have my hands free, and I can just read. And just read it. And then when you get tired, because your eyes will sometimes get fatigued, just put it aside. Go grab a drink of water. But make sure you drink lots of water. I can't tell you how much this helps. Well, I can't tell you. It helps out immensely. Drink lots of water while you're reading, while you're doing this, um, what do we call it? Splurge of diving into the Bible over a period of 30 days. Do not go into this dehydrated. You have to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. Why? Because your brain is going to get full. Your eyes are going to get heavy. And one of the secrets is making sure you have enough water in you. And I'll probably do a video later on what foods to stay away from when you're reading the Bible. Stay away from McDonald's. Stay away from processed foods. Stay away from grease, from cheese, from potato chips, whatever it is with monosodium glutamate. Stay away from that. Why? It makes your mind a little bit foggy after 5 or 10 minutes of reading. Stay away. Instead, fruit, vegetables, celery, all this stuff. And I'll make another video about it. Bananas, all this stuff. Coffee's even good, especially first thing in the morning. But make sure you're hydrated because that'll help prevent brain fog, which happens to most of us, especially in the afternoon. If you have a big meal, good luck trying to read the Bible in the afternoon, like at 2 o'clock after a big greasy Whopper. Good luck after a milkshake. Stay away from dairy. I'm telling you, it puts you to sleep. It puts you into a coma when you read. That could be for anything if you're studying. So I've learned this along the way. I've learned, oh, what happens when I get fatigued? But now, because of understanding the whole process, I could literally sit all day reading my Bible. I can. You can't because you're not there yet. You have to get to the point where you're comfortable sitting and just reading. And it takes time. It takes these marathon sprints of once in a while, I'm going to do 30 days. Once in a while, I'm going to do it in 6 months. Once in a while, it's going to be 4 months. Once in a while, I'm going to see how much I could read in one weekend. I'm going to read the entire New Testament in one weekend. You do a few of those, then you can go back to going slow, and you'll find what happens is you're on pace to read the entire Bible between 4 months and 6 months. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, which is what we want. This is why we're doing this type of burst, is to get you used to the idea of sitting down for longer periods of time reading. And then it'll just happen over time where you're like, you know what? I am actually comfortable sitting down and reading the entire book of Genesis, or I'm comfortable with reading the entire book of Isaiah in one sitting. You may not have time to do that every single day, but every once in a while you can. Black tea, that's awesome as well. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, ice cream. Now I'm getting hungry for ice cream. Those are the things that slow you down. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully this is encouraging to you, not discouraging. Again, really, if you think about it, let's just say you were slow as molasses and it took you 4 months to read the entire Bible. Are you going to be upset? Are you going to be upset at me? You're going to be like, Shane, it took me 4 months. It didn't take me 1 month. I'm mad at you because I only get through the Bible 3 times instead of 12 times a year. Well, I've never been able to get through the Bible 12 times in a year. My record is 6 times in 1 year. And it wasn't easy. But you can do once in a while, you can read the Bible really, really fast, as in spend more time reading. I'm not telling you to speed through the Bible, but people mix that up sometimes. So hopefully that helps. I gotta go. You guys are awesome. Read all the comments. Watch this video again. It's only 35 minutes for all the nuggets so that you can get my heart behind this. If you're just coming into this live now, or over the entire month of June, I'm going to be spending 20 to 30 minutes a day, maybe a little bit more, on just sharing tips and tricks on how to get you through the entire Bible. Like I said, I started in Acts on Sunday. Today is Tuesday, and I'll probably be diving into Hebrews sometime tonight, and most likely I'll be jumping into the Old Testament by the weekend or by Monday, kind of thing. So I'm at a pretty good clip, and in order for you to catch me, we're starting in Acts. You got to go to the end of Revelation, and then we're going to the book of Genesis, and we're going all the way to Job. That basically will take us a couple of weeks just for that alone. So, just so you know where we are on the Richter scale, I'm approaching Hebrews. So, if you're not close to Hebrews, you need to spend enough time reading so that you're at Hebrews by, let's say, by tomorrow evening. You should be on the book of Hebrews. All right. So I'm your pace setter for you guys, just so you know. Start in Acts. You can even start today, and really just time it out for July 3rd. That's all. Just stagger it by 3 days. You're actually ahead of people because you actually get to watch these 3 videos to see how I'm doing it, and then you can copy and follow along how I do it, and then you'll be ahead of the game, and it'll be fun, and we can talk about it. So, love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in another video. And most likely, you'll see me on Uptime Community Church tonight at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Awesome. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.